All right, y'all, what we have here is a 2008 Honda Shadow. We're getting ready to put new tires on, which we have right there. But before we do that, we have to remove the wheels, both front and rear, off of this 2008 Honda Shadow. This is a shaft drive. So if you have that, I'll do the best I can to catch everything here in the video. The first thing I'm going to do is get this off the ground and get ready to take the front wheel off. All right, we got the bike up off the ground and my motorcycle lift here. So let's go ahead and start working on getting the front wheel off. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the 6mm, loosen the 6mm nuts here, maybe. A little more power. There we go. All right, hang on. You gotta loosen the other side. Okay, all four of those are loose. Next thing, we're going to loosen this 22mm axle. That's loose. Take that out. Now we got the axle itself. We got to push back through. What I'm going to do is put that in a couple of threads. Tap on that gently with a rubber mallet. There we go. It's starting to come. Get back over to this side. And pull that the rest of the way out. Now I'm just putting a screwdriver through here. It's got little slots, just enough to be able to turn it and kind of pull on it. out, wheel's gonna drop down. Now you do have these spacers. I'm not the best photographer in the world. These spacers here on the wheel, you wanna make sure you don't lose them. Just take those out. What I like to do is keep one, there's one on each side. There's also one over here. Take that off. I keep them on the side of the bike that they came off of, that way I remember which goes which. So that's the front tire. It's off. Let's move to the back. Okay, so I moved to the back tire, so there'll be a little more swearing involved. There's a little more going on back here. One good thing about this particular bike is I just installed recently a Vance and Hines aftermarket exhaust, which you can see here. Beautiful sound, little additional horsepower, bike sounds amazing. But the really nice thing is the stock mufflers actually come back past this axle. The Vance and Hines, they stop short of the axle, so I don't have to take the exhaust off or loosen it. If I had the stock exhaust, I would have to loosen this up and either pry it out of the way or take it off completely, the exhaust, so I could get to this axle bolt because it's going to be behind the stock exhaust. Okay, so let's get started. A couple of things we have to remove on this side. We have the brake, the rear brake mechanism has to come off, and we also have to have this brake support piece come off. I'm a little anal, so what I like to do is put a little mark here and a little mark here. That way, when I go to put it back on, they should line up. And I won't have it too far forward or too far back. It should be pretty parallel, but just in case. Let's go ahead and loosen that up, take that off. This is a 12mm socket. You know, I did see another video where the gentleman took the fender off, but I don't think we need to do that. We'll find out when I get there. That's tight. Let's see if I can get that off. Yeah, looks like bike got a little water on it from whoever had it before me and a little rust there. But anyway, take that off, let that down. The next bolt we're going to remove is this support bolt here. It does have a cotter pin hole, or a cotter pin to go through that, so you may have a cotter pin on it. This one appears to be missing, so yeah, not a big deal. I'll put that on when we put it back together, but that comes out. That's really about all we got to do on this side. Next is, let's get to the other side. On this side, we have a 27mm nut here that we have to loosen. Just go loosen that up. not going to take that all the way out or off just yet. Take a rubber mallet, go ahead and tap that a little bit. Forgot something vitally important. Gonna say, why isn't that moving? I forgot to loosen this nut right here. That needs to be loosened up. There we go. Okay. Let's go back over here. See if we can tap this through now. There we go. Okay, we're going to pull the axle out on this side. Just tapping that through with a punch. Go ahead and pull this through. This wheel's gonna want to drop down. You don't need to really worry about this brake. It's just kind of hanging out there. It's not hurting anything. The wheel will be still connected to the shaft drive on the other side. We'll have to work a little bit to get that off. Once we get the axle out. Okay, axle's out. Take that spacer out that's right there. Go ahead and keep that on the right side of the bike so you don't lose it. Now, if I'm lucky, I can get this out without taking that fender off. You can see the wheels coming away from the shaft drive here. There's actually 4 studs holding the wheel in place. Once you get it off those studs, drop down it comes. Right out of the back. Well, I'm hitting my fender, but there you go. Back tire is completely off the bike. Not that hard, did not have to remove the fender. Would have, had I had the full factory exhaust, I would have had to either remove that or at least pry it up just to get to the axle bolt. But that's it. Front and rear tires off of the 2008 Honda Shadow. Ready for new wheels and or new tires, and then we'll be putting them back on. Hope you liked the video.